So I found some interesting Reddit confessions from the subreddit r/confessions. Today I'm gonna read these confessions for you guys while I play Minecraft. So let's just get right into it. This first confession is entitled, I, 20M, slept with my best friend's girlfriend and it destroyed a 12-year friendship. I don't really know how to start this, except to just say it plainly. I betrayed the person who knew me better than anyone on earth, and I don't think I'll ever fully forgive myself for it. Jake and I have been best friends since 3rd grade. Not the kind of friendship where you drift in and out. We were actually close the entire time. He was the best man material, long before either of us thought about getting married. He dated Emily for almost 2 years. I liked her fine. We hung out in group settings, nothing weird. Or so I told myself. It started small. She'd text me when they were fighting, just to vent. I told myself I was being a good friend to both of them by listening. But the text got longer. She started telling me things she said she couldn't tell Jake. I started looking forward to my phone buzzing in a way I shouldn't have. I knew what was happening, and I let it keep happening anyway, because it felt good to be wanted like that, even secondhand. Then one night in March, Jake was out of town for a family thing, and Emily asked if I wanted to come over, just to hang out. I knew when I said yes, that it wasn't really just hanging out. I got in my car, and I remember sitting in the driveway before I even started the engine, telling myself I could still turn around. I didn't. Nothing happened that first night. But it happened 2 weeks later, and then it kept happening for almost 2 months behind his back, while he was planning a trip for the two of us that summer, while he was still calling me his best friend, while he had no idea his girlfriend and the person he trusted most were lying to him every single day. Emily broke up with him eventually, and about 3 weeks after that we told him about us. I still remember his face, not angry at first, just confused, like his brain physically couldn't process it, like I told him gravity wasn't real. Then it turned into something I've never seen on him before or since. He didn't yell, he just said, "Get out," very quietly, and that was the last real conversation we've had. That was over a year ago. Emily and I didn't even last that long, by the way. Maybe 8 months. I think some part of both of us always knew what we did to get there, and it sat between us like a stain that never came out. When we broke up, I didn't even feel sad about her. I just felt the full weight of what I traded her for. I've reached out to Jake twice. Both times he left me on read. I don't blame him. If our positions were reversed, I don't know if I'd ever speak to me again either. I lost a brother for a relationship that didn't even last a year, and no apology I could write would ever be enough to undo what I did to him. I'm not looking for anyone to tell me it's okay, because it isn't. I just needed to actually say it somewhere, out loud, to someone. This next confession is, I always pretend to be naive, even when I know exactly what's being said. I'm 22. I've been playing dumb since I was maybe 15, and I got good enough at it that most people who know me have no idea it's an act. Here's the thing nobody clocks. Quiet, sweet, slightly clueless people get handed information that guarded people never do. People say things in front of me they'd never say in front of someone sharp. They vent, they scheme, they confess, they let their guard all the way down. Because on some level they've decided I'm not a threat. I'm just the nice one who doesn't really get it. I let them believe that. I've let people believe that for years. I remember exactly when I figured out the power in it. I was at a party, sitting near a group who assumed I was too zoned out to follow the conversation. They were talking about someone, cutting her apart, saying things they'd denied to her face. I just sat there nodding along like I was somewhere else in my head. I wasn't. I heard every word, followed every word, and later that same information became useful to me in ways none of them saw coming. I didn't even feel guilty. I felt sharp, like I'd been handed a weapon nobody knew I was holding. It's not innocent anymore, if it ever was. I do it in relationships. I do it at work. I let people underestimate me because underestimated people get away with everything. I've watched people say cruel, calculated, manipulative things right to my face, dressed up as jokes or just being honest, and I smile like I didn't catch the knife in it, and then I use exactly what they revealed about themselves against them later on my own timeline when they least expect it. The scary part isn't that I do it. The scary part is how easy it's gotten. I don't even have to try to look naive anymore. The mask just sits there on my face like it's real. Sometimes I don't know anymore where the act ends and I begin. I've lied to people I supposedly love, straight to their faces, with the exact same soft, confused expression I'd use on a stranger. And it works. It always works. I'm not telling you this because I feel bad. I'm telling you because I want somebody to know there's a version of me that's paying very, very close attention while everyone else thinks I'm somewhere else entirely. Another confession entitled, I messed up a rude customer's order. In my freshman year of college, I worked at a burger place part-time job for some extra cash. The customers we got treated us like we were subhuman for messing up an order that they mumbled through a broken drive-thru speaker. Most days I just took it, but there was a system some of us had for the worst offenders. Nothing that would actually hurt anyone, just enough to make me feel like I got the last word. The one that still sits with me happened on a Friday closing shift. This guy came through the drive-thru, maybe mid-30s, screaming at the intercom before he even got to the window because we were too slow. When he pulled up, he called my coworker Maria a slur under his breath. She heard it, I heard it, everyone in the kitchen heard it. He wanted his burger actually cooked this time because apparently we messed up his order once before, and he made sure to remind us he could get us all fired with one call. So when I remade his burger, I let it sit under the heat lamp way longer than it should have, like 10 extra minutes past when it should have gone out. Not spoiled, not unsafe, just dry, overcooked, and cold by the time it reached him. I forgot the extra pickles he paid for. I gave him a small fry in a medium container and didn't say anything when he didn't check. Petty stuff. It felt like justice in the moment. He came back inside 2 minutes later, furious that the burger was dry and cold. And I just apologized with a straight face and told him, that's how it came off the grill, sir. He didn't get a refund. He left still yelling. I look back now and feel kind of gross about it. Not because I feel bad for that specific guy, but because it became a habit. Anytime someone was cruel to one of us, something happened to their food. It got sat under the lamp forever. Sauce packets went missing. We'd run out of the topping they wanted most. We never did anything that could actually make someone sick. We drew a hard line there, but it was still about control. Making someone else feel small, the way they made us feel small. I don't work there anymore. But every time I'm in a drive-thru now, I'm way too nice to whoever's on the other end of that intercom. This is a bit of a dark confession. My old job kept paying me for months after I quit, and I never said a word. This happened years ago. Everything is cleared up now. Stowaway for obvious reasons, and full disclosure up front. This is old, it's resolved, nobody's coming after me. I'm just finally ready to say it out loud. Back when I was 21, I worked part-time at a mid-sized company doing basically glorified data entry. I gave my 2 weeks, worked my last shift, packed up my little desk plant, and left on decent terms. Nothing dramatic. My manager even said good luck and meant it. About 3 weeks later, I checked my bank account, and there was a direct deposit from them. I figured it was a delayed final paycheck, maybe some PTO payout, whatever. Didn't think much of it. Then it happened again 2 weeks after that, and again, and again. Every single pay period, like clockwork, money kept landing in my account from a job I hadn't shown up to in over a month. I knew immediately what was happening. HR never pulled me off payroll. I wasn't clocking in. I wasn't doing any work. I just kept getting paid. And I said nothing, not a word. I didn't call. I didn't email. I definitely didn't walk in and mention it. I just let it ride. This went on for almost 5 months. 5 months of a paycheck for a job I didn't have anymore. I told myself all kinds of things to justify it. That it was their mistake to catch, not mine to report. That companies mess up way bigger amounts of money than this without blinking. That I deserved it after how underpaid I felt while I actually worked there. None of that really holds up looking back. I knew it was wrong the entire time. I just liked the extra money too much to say anything. It ended on its own eventually. I'm guessing someone finally did an audit or a new HR person caught it. Because the deposits just stopped one day with no explanation, no call, nothing. No one ever reached out about it. I braced for months for a letter or a call demanding it back, and it never came. I got away with it completely clean. I've thought about that money a lot over the years, honestly more than I expected to. Not because I'm scared of it catching up to me anymore, but because I know exactly what I did and exactly why I did it, and getting away with it never actually made it feel okay. This last confession is, I edited a yearbook entry for my school and never told anyone about it. This is a weird one because it's not really something I feel guilty about, but I've literally never told a single person this in the 10-ish years since it happened. So here it goes. Senior year, I was on the yearbook committee, mostly because it looked good for college apps and the class was an easy elective. Part of my job was compiling the senior superlatives and quote submission pages before they went to the final layout. Most of it was harmless, most likely to become famous, class clown, stuff like that. But there was this one kid, I'll just call him B, who was an easy target the entire 4 years. Quiet, awkward, genuinely brilliant, but had zero social protection around him. A group of guys who'd been messing with him since freshman year submitted quotes and predictions for his page that weren't jokes, they were just cruel. Stuff dressed up as funny that was really just designed to humiliate him in a book that follows people around forever. Things about how he'd end up alone, how nobody would remember him, digs at how he looked and talked. It was ugly, and it was clearly written to hurt him specifically, not to be funny to anyone reading it later. I was the one entering the final text into the layout software before it went to print. I sat there looking at what they'd submitted and just didn't use it. I rewrote his entries myself, genuine ones. I wrote that he was one of the smartest people in our grade, that he was going to end up doing something none of us expected. A couple of real specific things about him that were actually true and actually kind, because I'd sat near him in 2 classes and he was a genuinely good person once you got past how closed off he was. I made it sound like it came from classmates who liked him, not from the guys who'd submitted the original stuff. Nobody ever caught it. Not the advisor, not the guys who submitted the original quotes, not D himself as far as I know. The book got printed, it got handed out, and that was that. I actually saw him at a reunion a few years back. He brought up the yearbook, said it was one of the only nice things anyone said to him that whole year, and that he still had it. I just said something like, yeah, people probably meant it more than you think, and let it go. I never told him it was me. I don't think I ever will. I don't feel bad about this one. I just never had anywhere to actually say I did it until now. If you guys enjoyed these Reddit confessions in my beautiful Minecraft world, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.